Wait, before you buy that luxury SUV, you need to see this. Some of the most popular SUVs from just a few years ago have lost up to 70% of their value in 2026. I'm talking about vehicles that cost over $60,000 new and are now worth less than a used economy car. In today's video, I'm revealing 20 SUVs that have become practically worthless and the shocking reasons why. Stick around because number 7 will blow your mind, and if you own number 15, you might want to sell it right now. The used car market in 2026 is brutal for certain SUVs. Depreciation has hit some models so hard that owners are underwater on their loans with no way out. Today we're counting down 20 SUVs that have become money pits, and I'll explain exactly why each one tanked in value. Let's get started. Number 1. Range Rover Evoque, 2019 to 2021. Starting our list with the Range Rover Evoque. This compact luxury SUV was everywhere a few years ago, but in 2026, it's a depreciation disaster. These models are losing 65 to 70% of their original value. Why? The reliability issues are legendary. Owners report constant electrical problems, transmission failures, and engine issues that cost thousands to repair. The infotainment system freezes regularly, and the air suspension fails prematurely. Repair costs are astronomical because you're paying Land Rover dealer prices for parts and labor. Insurance companies have started classifying these as high-risk vehicles, which drives up ownership costs even more. Combined with poor fuel economy and expensive maintenance schedules, the Evoque has become a vehicle people actively avoid in the used market. Number 2. Maserati Levante, 2017 to 2020. The Maserati Levante promised Italian luxury and performance, but delivered nightmare-level depreciation instead. These SUVs are now selling for 30 cents on the dollar. The problems started immediately. Engine reliability issues plague these vehicles, with many owners reporting complete engine failures before 50,000 miles. The electrical system is notoriously problematic. Window regulators fail, the infotainment crashes constantly, and sensors malfunction without warning. But here's the real killer: maintenance costs. A simple oil change costs $400 to $500. Brake jobs run $2,000 to $3,000. And if you need any major repair, you're looking at $5,000 minimum. The Levante also has terrible fuel economy for a V6, averaging just 15 mpg in real-world driving. Buyers have caught on, and these vehicles sit unsold on dealer lots for months. Number 3. Alfa Romeo Stelvio, 2018 to 2021. The Alfa Romeo Stelvio looked stunning and drove well when new, but the 2026 used market tells a different story. These Italian SUVs have depreciated 60 to 65% and continue falling. Reliability is the main culprit. Transmission problems are common, with many units requiring complete replacement before 60,000 miles. The electrical gremlins are endless: failed sensors, malfunctioning cameras, and dashboard warning lights that never go away. The infotainment system uses outdated technology that can't be updated or replaced easily. Parts availability is another nightmare because Alfa Romeo dealerships are rare in many areas. When parts are available, they're expensive. Labor rates at specialist shops are through the roof. The Stelvio also suffers from poor resale value awareness. Most buyers simply don't trust the Alfa Romeo brand for reliability, so demand is non-existent in the used market. Number 4. Jaguar F-Pace, 2017 to 2020. The Jaguar F-Pace was Jaguar's attempt to compete in the luxury SUV market, but depreciation has destroyed it. These models have lost 65% of their value by 2026. The reliability reputation is terrible. Engines develop oil leaks, turbos fail prematurely, and the cooling system has design flaws that lead to overheating. The electrical architecture is overly complex and prone to failures that are expensive to diagnose and repair. Interior quality issues are common too. The leather seats crack and peel prematurely, trim pieces break easily, and the panoramic sunroof often develops leaks. The touchscreen interface becomes unresponsive over time. Maintenance schedules are aggressive and expensive. The F-Pace requires premium fuel, synthetic oil, and frequent service intervals. When something breaks, parts take weeks to arrive, leaving owners without their vehicles. All of this has made the F-Pace toxic in the resale market. Number 5. Lincoln Nautilus, 2019 to 2021. The Lincoln Nautilus seemed like a smart luxury buy when new, but 2026 values tell a different story. These SUVs have depreciated 55 to 60%, which is catastrophic for a domestic luxury brand. The main issue is the powertrain. The 2.0-liter turbocharged engine is underpowered for a vehicle this size, and it's prone to turbo failure and timing chain problems. The transmission shifts roughly and has been subject to multiple recalls. But the real problem is market positioning. The Nautilus exists in a weird middle ground where it's too expensive to compete with mainstream SUVs, but lacks the prestige of German luxury brands. Buyers looking at used luxury SUVs skip right past Lincoln.
The infotainment system is also dated compared to competitors, and the Nautilus lacks modern driver assistance features that buyers expect in 2026. Add in average reliability and high repair costs, and you have a depreciation disaster. 6. Cadillac XT4, 2019 to 2022. The Cadillac XT4 has become one of the fastest depreciating compact luxury SUVs, losing 60% of its value by 2026. The turbocharged 2.0-liter engine has serious reliability concerns, including premature failure and excessive oil consumption. The 9-speed transmission is problematic, with harsh shifts and hesitation being common complaints. Interior quality doesn't match the price point, with cheap plastics and rattles developing quickly. The infotainment system, while feature-rich, is overly complicated and suffers from frequent software glitches. The XT4 also has poor cargo space compared to competitors, making it less practical. Brand perception hurts the Cadillac XT4 badly. Younger buyers don't see Cadillac as desirable, and older buyers prefer the larger XT5 or XT6. This lack of demand has crushed resale values to the point where dealers won't even take them in. 7. BMW X2, 2018 to 2021. Here's number 7, and this one is shocking because it's a BMW. The BMW X2 has depreciated 60 to 65%, making it one of the worst performing BMWs in resale value history. The styling is polarizing, which limits the buyer pool immediately, but the real problems are mechanical. The B48 turbocharged engine has issues with timing chain wear, oil leaks, and coolant system failures. The automatic transmission develops harsh shifting and mechatronic failures. The X2 uses a dated platform with cramped rear seats and minimal cargo space. It's too small to be practical, but too expensive to justify as a second vehicle. The ride quality is harsh, and the interior feels cheap for a BMW. Maintenance costs are pure BMW, meaning every service is expensive. But unlike larger BMWs that hold value better, the X2 has no collector appeal and limited practical use. It's the perfect storm of depreciation factors, and used car buyers are avoiding them completely. 8. Infiniti QX50, 2019 to 2022. The Infiniti QX50 introduced a revolutionary variable compression engine, but in 2026, that engine is the reason for massive depreciation. These SUVs have lost 60% of their value. The VC turbo engine sounds great on paper, but in reality, it's unreliable and expensive to repair. When problems occur, few mechanics understand the technology, forcing owners to use dealerships that charge premium rates. Engine replacements are common before 80,000 miles. The interior quality is disappointing for a luxury brand. The materials feel cheap, the infotainment is slow and outdated, and the seats lack proper support. The QX50 also has poor visibility due to thick pillars and small windows. Infiniti's brand image has collapsed in recent years, with many dealers closing and the company pulling out of certain markets entirely. This makes service and parts availability questionable, further destroying resale values. 9. Volkswagen Atlas, 2018 to 2021. The Volkswagen Atlas is a surprising entry because it's not a luxury vehicle, but depreciation has been severe. These three-row SUVs have lost 55 to 60% of their value by 2026. The main culprit is reliability. The turbocharged four-cylinder engine is underpowered and prone to failure. The V6 option is better but drinks fuel like crazy. Transmission problems are widespread, with the 8-speed automatic developing shuddering and delayed engagement. Electrical issues plague the Atlas. The infotainment system crashes regularly, sensors fail without warning, and the digital cockpit malfunctions. Interior quality is poor, with seats that wear quickly and trim pieces that break easily. The Atlas also faces intense competition from Japanese and Korean brands that offer better reliability and lower ownership costs. With Volkswagen's spotty reliability reputation and expensive repairs, the Atlas has become a hard sell in the used market. 10. Buick Envision, 2019 to 2022. The Buick Envision has depreciated 55% by 2026, which is worst performing domestic SUV. Built in China and imported to the US, the Envision suffers from quality control issues and reliability problems. The 2.0-liter turbo engine is weak and thirsty. The 9-speed transmission shifts roughly and has durability concerns. Interior quality feels cheap despite the luxury branding, and the ride quality is floaty and disconnected. But the biggest problem is brand perception. Buick's customer base is aging rapidly, and younger buyers have zero interest in the brand. The Envision gets lost in a sea of better, more reliable competitors. When combined with expensive maintenance and poor dealer networks, resale value has collapsed completely. 11. Mercedes-Benz GLA, 2018 to 2021. The Mercedes-Benz GLA proves that even the three-pointed star can't save you from depreciation. These compact SUVs have lost 60% of their value by 2026. The GLA is built on a front-wheel drive platform shared with economy cars, which hurts its luxury credentials. The base engine is underpowered and inefficient. The interior is cramped with poor rear seat space and minimal cargo room. Quality issues are common. The dual-clutch transmission jerks at low speeds and fails prematurely. Electronics malfunction regularly, and the infotainment system lags behind competitors. Panel gaps and interior squeaks are embarrassing for a Mercedes. Maintenance costs are astronomical. Even basic services cost $500 to $800, and major repairs easily exceed $3,000. The GLA requires premium fuel and expensive synthetic oil. Most buyers looking at used Mercedes skip the GLA entirely for better models, leaving values in free fall. 11. Acura RDX, 2019 to 2021. The Acura RDX was redesigned for 2019 with bold styling, but by 2026 it's depreciated 50 to 55%, which isn't catastrophic, but it's terrible for what should be a reliable Honda product. The turbocharged engine has issues with carbon buildup and premature wear. The infotainment system uses a touchpad interface that everyone hates. It's slow, unintuitive, and frustrating to use while driving. Acura refused to change it for years. Interior quality is mediocre, the materials feel cheap, and road noise is excessive. The RDX also lacks the refinement of competitors from Lexus and even Mazda. While reliability is better than European brands, it's not good enough to justify Acura's premium pricing. The RDX suffers from weak brand identity. Most buyers cross-shop it against the Honda CR-V and realize they can save money without sacrificing much. This has crushed demand in the used market. 13. Audi Q3, 2019 to 2021. The Audi Q3 has become a depreciation trap, losing 60% of its value by 2026. This compact luxury SUV looks good on paper, but fails in real-world ownership. The turbocharged four-cylinder engine is reliable by Audi standards, but the dual-clutch transmission is not. It develops rough shifting, hesitation, and mechatronic failures that cost $5,000 plus to fix. The Quattro all-wheel drive system also has issues with the rear differential and transfer case. Interior space is cramped, especially in the back seat. The cargo area is small for an SUV. The infotainment system, while modern, is overly complicated with too many menus and sub-menus. Maintenance costs are pure Audi, meaning everything is expensive. The Q3 requires premium fuel, frequent services, and expensive parts. When you factor in rapid depreciation, the total cost of ownership is shocking. Buyers have figured this out, and demand has evaporated. 14. Volvo XC40, 2019 to 2022. The Volvo XC40 brought Scandinavian style to the compact SUV segment, but by 2026 it's lost 55 to 60% of its value. The main problem is reliability. The turbocharged and supercharged engines are complex and prone to failure. Owners report premature turbo failures, coolant system leaks, and electrical problems. The infotainment system crashes frequently and requires software updates that dealers charge for. Interior quality is inconsistent. While the design is nice, materials wear quickly and rattles develop early. The seats, despite being comfortable initially, lack long-term durability. Volvo's dealer network is limited in many areas, making service inconvenient. Parts are expensive and often back-ordered. The XC40 also faces competition from better established luxury brands and more reliable mainstream alternatives. All of this has made it a poor resale value proposition. 15. Land Rover Discovery Sport, 2018 to 2021. If you own number 15, the Land Rover Discovery Sport, you might want to sell immediately. These SUVs have lost 70% of their value, making them one of the worst investments in automotive history. Reliability is abysmal. The turbocharged engines fail regularly, often before 60,000 miles. Transmission problems are widespread, with many requiring complete replacement. The electrical system is a disaster, with sensors, modules, and computers failing constantly. The infotainment is buggy and outdated. The terrain response system malfunctions. The air suspension leaks and fails. Even simple things like window regulators and door locks break repeatedly. Repair costs are astronomical. A typical repair bill runs $3,000 to $5,000, and major repairs easily hit $10,000. Insurance rates are high because of the vehicle's reputation. The Discovery Sport has become so unreliable that many owners simply abandon them rather than continue pouring money into repairs. 16. GMC Terrain, 2018 to 2021. The GMC Terrain has depreciated 50 to 55%, which is terrible for a mainstream brand. The 1.5-liter turbocharged engine is the main culprit, with widespread reports of premature failure and excessive oil consumption. The 9-speed automatic transmission shifts roughly and has reliability issues. Interior quality is poor, with hard plastics everywhere and a cheap feel. The infotainment system is slow and crashes regularly. The Terrain also suffers from uncomfortable seats, poor visibility, and cramped rear seating. Fuel economy is disappointing for a 4-cylinder. When combined with GM's average reliability reputation, the Terrain has become a vehicle buyers actively avoid. Resale values have collapsed because there are simply better alternatives available at similar prices. The Terrain offers nothing special, and its problems are well documented. 17. Jeep Compass, 2018 to 2022. The Jeep Compass has lost 55% of its value by 2026, making it one of the worst performing Jeeps ever. The 2.4-liter engine is underpowered and inefficient. The 9-speed transmission is terrible, with rough shifts, hesitation, and premature failure. Interior quality is abysmal. The materials are cheap, panels don't fit properly, and rattles develop within months. The infotainment system freezes regularly and lacks modern features. The Compass also has poor road manners with vague steering and a bouncy ride. Reliability is below average, with electrical problems and engine issues being common. The Jeep brand name isn't enough to overcome these fundamental flaws, and buyers have abandoned the Compass in droves. 19. Nissan Murano, 2019 to 2022. The Nissan Murano has depreciated 50 to 55% by 2026. While the V6 engine is reliable, the CVT is not. Nissan's CVTs are notorious for failure, and the Murano is no exception. The styling is polarizing and hasn't aged well. Interior quality feels cheap, especially for the price point. The infotainment system is outdated and slow to respond. Rear visibility is poor due to the sloping roofline. The Murano also faces image problems. It's seen as an old person's car with no appeal to younger buyers. Fuel economy is poor for a CVT-equipped vehicle. When combined with Nissan's declining brand reputation and better alternatives from competitors, the Murano has become a resale disaster. 20. Mitsubishi Outlander, 2018 to 2021. The Mitsubishi Outlander has lost 55% of its value, which is expected given Mitsubishi's struggling brand position. The aging platform and powertrains feel 2 generations behind competitors. The 4-cylinder engine is weak and noisy. The CVT transmission is rough and unreliable. Interior quality is bottom of the barrel, with cheap plastics and outdated design. The infotainment system is primitive. The Outlander also has poor safety ratings compared to modern competitors. Fuel economy is mediocre despite the small engine. The third-row seat is unusable for adults. Mitsubishi's dealer network has shrunk dramatically, making service difficult. Parts availability is questionable. The brand has virtually zero resale value recognition, and buyers treat Mitsubishis as disposable vehicles. The Outlander exemplifies this perfectly. 20. Chevrolet Blazer, 2019 to 2022. Closing our list is the Chevrolet Blazer, which has depreciated 50 to 55% by 2026. Chevy resurrected an iconic nameplate, but delivered a disappointing vehicle that has collapsed in value. The turbocharged 4-cylinder is underpowered and has reliability issues. The V6 option is better, but thirsty. The 9-speed transmission shifts roughly and has durability concerns. Electrical problems are common, with the infotainment crashing and sensors malfunctioning. Interior quality is mediocre. The materials feel cheap and the design is generic. Rear seat space is limited despite the large exterior. Cargo space is disappointing for an SUV this size. The Blazer also suffers from identity crisis. It's not rugged enough to be a real Blazer, not refined enough to compete with luxury brands, and not reliable enough to justify its price. Buyers have figured this out, and resale values reflect the market's rejection. The Blazer is now a cautionary tale of how not to revive a legendary nameplate. Conclusion. So, there you have it. 20 SUVs that have become practically worthless in 2026. The common themes are clear: unreliable powertrains, expensive repairs, poor brand perception, and intense competition from better alternatives. If you currently own any of these vehicles, you might want to consider selling before values drop even further. And if you're shopping for a used SUV, these are the models to avoid unless you enjoy expensive repairs and terrible resale value. The used car market is brutal, and these 20 SUVs prove that even luxury badges can't save you from depreciation when reliability and quality aren't there. Choose wisely, do your research, and remember that the cheapest luxury SUV to buy is often the most expensive to own. Thanks for watching. If this video saved you from making an expensive mistake, hit that like button and subscribe for more automotive content. Drop a comment below if you've owned any of these SUVs. I'd love to hear your horror stories. See you in the next video.